Welcome back to day 93. Today's practice is going to be a supported back bend. So back extensions or back bends are really nice to offset a lot of that rounding that we get from sitting either at our desk or computer, doing reading, knitting, anything that really, texting is a big one nowadays, where our head is down, really creates a lot of stress on the upper back and the neck. So for props, varying props, we'll start with demonstrating with the blanket. We can use blocks. If you have a bolster or a firm sort of couch pillow, that would be great too, or another blanket. So we'll demonstrate those options. Let's start sitting up nice and tall. Take your arms out to the side, taking a nice inhale, draw the palms overhead, and exhale, lower. Continuing, raising the head, look up towards the hands. Exhale, lower chin to chest. Allowing yourself to arrive to your practice today. Let everything else outside go. We'll take one more nice full breath as you draw your palms overhead next. Exhale, draw your palms together and down. All right, just to warm up a little bit, let's take some nice shoulder circles. We can circle the other direction. And then you can either be seated in your chair or maybe on the floor, cross-legged. You could also be in this bound angle pose. We'll do a nice little seated cat-cow pose. If you're in your chair, you could also do the tabletop cat-cow that we've done previously. So starting nice and tall, take your nice inhale and let your chest draw forward, raise the head slightly. Exhale as you round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest, reach your hands over your knees. Inhale, roll your hips forward, arching the back slightly, and exhale, round. Let's do several more, warming up the whole back body. It's really important, especially as we're going to be holding this pose. We want the back to be a little bit warmed up and loose. 2 more times. And one more. After you round your spine into your cat next, roll your hips forward, sitting up nice and tall. All right, I'm going to demonstrate with the different props. I'll start with a folded blanket. So a firm folded blanket, similar to this yoga blanket. I'm going to open it up so it's about a rectangle, about half the size of your mat. Couple options here. I call this the 3-fold. I lay one end down and then I fold 1, 2, and 3. And you'll see when you do that, you've got nice little soft folded edges on one side. Maybe if you have a yoga blanket, you've got the fringy edges on the other side. So I'm going to demonstrate with this blanket. And you're going to take the soft edge, I'm going to face this way today, and bring it to the middle of your mat. You're sitting at the end of the blanket, not on it, so that as I lay back, using your hands to support, the blanket rolls up the whole length of your spine, giving you nice support. You can adjust your hips where that lower blanket is sort of right in the lower back. And then you can use the top of the blanket to roll up to make a nice pillow to support your head. So in this position, you really want to start to get the chest open. This is a very gentle chest opener, tiny, tiny back extension, but you're letting your shoulders roll back. Arms can be out to the side, bent knees, or straight legs. Thinking about those shoulders rolling back towards the floor. That's option number 1. Option number 2, taking that same fold, I take it across the top edge of my, or top part of my mat. Softer edges go near away from you now. And then I'm going to lay down, so think about a cross position. My arms will be wide. I lay down and I want my top of my armpit to be right at the top of this fold. Both sides, use your hands to support your head, knees bent to start. As I lengthen my spine and my neck, I let my head come back to the floor. Arms are wide. Now, if that's too much extension for your neck, you can use another soft rolled up towel or blanket to lift the head, but try to have a little bit of an opening, especially in the chest. You want to try not to have your neck too flexed, because we're really missing the whole supported back bend idea. Once you get here, my arms are wide, palms are facing up. You can keep bent knees or straighten your legs. And then you just find a nice, comfortable position. It's relatively flat, should feel pretty supportive, nice opening of the chest. That's version number 2. Coming out, you always want to support your head, rolling chin to chest, and rolling off to one side. If I want to get maybe a little bit higher, you can always use a block, but you want to pad it. In this case, you could also use 2 blocks, but maybe I use a block, but I'm going to pad it. Now, block can be a little bit firm, so you really want to make sure that that's not going to be causing you to hold or grip your breath. If you notice, I'm a lot higher off the floor, so this time I may need my block or another folded up blanket. Give you an example here for my head. So again, I use my hands, lengthen my spine, lengthen my neck, let my head come back down so my head doesn't touch the mat. So I want to use a folded blanket. Could use that other block, but something that allows my head to still reach gently back as long as that feels okay. Same idea, either bent knees or straight legs. And it doesn't feel too bad. That block is right under the flat part of my shoulder blade, so it's not in your middle rib cage, it's not in your lower back. That upper back, think of a sports bra, that line, just at the sports bra level, and then nice and flat when your shoulders come back. To come out, just as we've done, support the head, gently roll off, blocks a little bit firmer. Now, another nice one, if you've got a bolster or a firmer couch pillow, not too wide, otherwise you're not going to get that opening of the back. So I'm going to take that across my mat and use either a block or a folded blanket, which I think I'll use here probably. Coming out. Other blanket off to the side. So same idea, I want it right at the lower edge of my shoulder blades, and I'm going to lay onto my back and come on down. Head supported, and I lengthen my spine, reaching back, finding that folded blanket support for my head. So I still want to have I try to not want to have my nose pointing back behind me or overhead. I want my nose somewhat pointing up to the ceiling. Now here, either my arms go wide, or I like to prefer when I'm a little bit higher, I box my arms, grab the opposite elbow or forearm, raise my arms overhead. Something that's nice and supportive for that position is a block. I let my arms rest on the block, bent knees or straight legs, and we hold here. Even if, another example, I come into this position, if I have 2 blocks and I want to take my arms nice and long, I'm going to bring the blocks just about shoulder width apart. Come into it nice and slow, everything lengthened, so we give space for the vertebrae, the spine, the neck, and then I could take my arms and rest my hands on the blocks. So you'll see here, really opening up the upper back. So let's find a position that works for you. Maybe today you start with that folded blanket. Remember, you're opening up. It's about half the size of your mat, practically, maybe a little bit longer. You do that 3-fold, 1, 2, 3. Now, if that doesn't work for you or it just feels awkward, you're certainly welcome to roll it up like a soft burrito. Just rolling it up, or maybe when you're making cinnamon rolls, and lay it down. across your mat. Try this version first, going across your mat rather than up your spine to see how that feels. You want to try not to have any lumps or bumps in there because it might feel awkward then in your back. And then remember, when you come down, in this position using your blanket, you want the tops of the armpits over the blanket. My arms should be free and clear of the top side of your blanket. And then you roll over. Rest your head on the floor or another folded blanket, palms facing up. So find that position that works for you today. Make sure it's relatively comfortable, otherwise you'll be gripping or holding your breath or straining or feeling discomfort or pain. So today I'm going to practice with the bolster. Start with bent knees. Lay across over your support. Make sure to support your head so you're not hanging out on your neck. You want your head to feel supported. And then the arms can be either wide if you're using that flat blanket, folded into boxed arms, drawn overhead, or straight arms overhead, palms facing the ceiling. Bent knees. If you do bent knees, try to let your feet be a little wider, heels turned out, knees resting towards each other, or straight legs pressing the balls of your feet towards the bottom edge of your mat. Once you get there, check in. If you need any adjustments, make sure that prop is in your upper back, not the rib cage, middle back, or not the lower spine. You should feel a nice opening of the chest towards the ceiling. And then as I take some nice easeful breaths, I just imagine or feel that expansion of my upper chest. As I exhale, I let my whole back release down into my prop. Feel that nice opening of the shoulders, the neck. So we'll only stay here for about 3 more breaths. Maybe practice, start with 2 minutes, work up to 3, 4, 5 minutes. Great to do after a long day sitting at a desk or driving. Just in general, if you're sitting a lot. All right, now take your time to come out. We're going to bend the knees, place the feet flat on the mat. Bring your hands and interlace the fingers behind your head, elbows tight in towards the side of your head. Tuck your chin, roll your chin to your chest. Gently roll off to one side. And then we'll just take, you can use that folded blanket or your blocks or your bolster. Bring your elbows on, palms together, knees wide, big toes together. Sit your hips back in a nice supported child's pose with namaskar hands. Take one more nice full breath. Gently come on up. Find yourself back into a supported seated position. So today I've got my bolster. It's a really nice prop to use as it lets my knees be lower than my hips, allows my spine to be nice and elongated. I hope you enjoyed that. Really practice, but make sure you're comfortable in it. Use your props, start small and just slowly build up as the back starts to open. Let's take our nice closing breath, inhaling, palms overhead. Exhale, draw your palms together and down. I thank you for joining this one pose practice today. I look forward to seeing you back tomorrow.